guys, Alec from Company Z here. I'm going to be doing a tutorial series on music production. In this tutorial series, we'll go over a couple things. Basically, what I've had in mind is kind of starting with a kind of overview of what equipment you need and kind of how to get away with, some starter stuff without, spending too much money right away. Kind of test the waters. So yeah, we'll go over what equipment we need probably in this video, and then we'll get into some audio production basics in the next video, and probably in the next several videos we'll continue with that. And concurrently, we'll probably look at my audio production process, and obviously I'll throw some tips and tricks your way when I can. And another thing that I kind of wanted to look at, because it's not too prominent, at least that I've noticed in the tutorial kind of sense, is mobile production, like using iOS to make music, GarageBand, and other things like that. I know that some bands have made entire songs or even albums on their iPad, for example. So we'll take a look at that. I found some really good stuff, to use for that, and I've used it in my own music as well. And lastly, in the scope of things, we'll look at a little bit of Melodyne. Don't know too much about it, just got it fairly recently, but I'll pass on what I know. So let's look at some equipment that you'll need. There are basically three key things that you need. The first being a digital audio workstation, or DAW. This is basically the software. And for this series, we'll be using Ableton. But another common one, industry standard in fact, is Pro Tools. So although the buttons and the layout will be different, conceptually, you'll be able to follow along if you're using Pro Tools, Reason, or Fruity Loops, or something like that. Conceptually, for most of it, you'll be able to follow along. And I do have Ableton or Pro Tools as well, so if you have questions about that, let me know. I don't use it that much. I personally like Ableton better, but that's just me. So on to the second thing that you need is a MIDI keyboard. This basically it looks like an electric piano, and it's basically, as someone has explained it to me, is like a mouse. And I like this explanation because mouse basically, sends clicks, information to the computer, like I clicked here or whatever. And that's basically what the keyboard does, because the keyboard itself doesn't actually make any noise. It just sends information to the computer. And so basically what that means is you play it like a normal keyboard, or you can load drums and stuff into it. We'll get into that more later on. But lastly, you need an audio interface. Even if you're not recording live audio like a guitar or a microphone, it is good for routing audio. So basically, if you have speakers or studio monitors or monitoring headphones, it's all good to go through that, and it can replace your sound card to a certain degree, and oftentimes it's better as well. So those are kind of reasons why you would want that for even if you weren't producing live audio. And it is absolutely essential, no way around it really, for recording guitar and other live instruments like microphone or bass, because of latency, and we'll get into that more. And yeah, so basically that's the overview of what this tutorial series is going to cover, some things that you'll need to kind of follow along. And in the next video, we'll kind of jump into Ableton and get started on some of this material. So thanks, guys. Do make sure to like and subscribe, or pass it along to somebody that might get use from it. And one more thing before I leave you guys is that these are all ways that I've learned to do it, or that I've kind of figured it out, through just messing around, or other, YouTube, whatever, other online sources. But that by no means means that it's the only way of doing it, or that it's the best way, especially because I'll be using things that are like, um, the introduction version of the product, or free, or it's not necessarily, in some instances it is, but not necessarily the top of the line, gear. And I'll show you that you don't really always need that. But anyway, I'll let you go. Thanks.